All right, welcome. It's time for us to talk sport on Global Television. My name is Anthony Momodi, King of Sport, and I'm fully loaded with all the big stories and making the rounds in the exciting world of sport. I've got my partner in sport who is standing by to give us all the best analysis you can get as regards the biggest stories making the rounds in this world of sport. His name is Samuel Odi. Odi, how has the weekend been looking at the fact that the Euros did just kickstart?
The Euros just kickstarted. It was amazing. I saw, though I was very busy this weekend, but I was able to watch that of England, and Jude Bellingham was amazing, and he was able to secure a goal for his team side, and then they won, 1-0 against Serbia. So it's amazing how Euro started with a whole lot of goals. I think from just this weekend, I think in total 21 goals have been scored. So it's just crazy how it's going, and we are just expecting to see more goals and more expecting it to be more competitive as it is. So it's nice going the way it's going, and then I'm hoping for the match to just keep getting interesting and getting more competitive as it runs, and also with what is happening back home. But I'll just put my foot on the brake and then wait till we get to that angle, and then we can take a ride with it.
All right, we'll be talking about the Euros in proper after we finish from the home front as we look at big stories making the rounds. A lot of things went down in the last couple of 72 hours in Nigeria, as it's no longer news that the coach of the Super Eagles, Finidi George, has resigned. How did you take that story, the resignation of Finidi George?
Well, I feel it's something honorable for him to do. Okay, you took on the job, and maybe he wasn't just ready to take up a job like that. The job is probably looks bigger than him. It looks easy from the outside, but when he gets in, he saw that it's looking super big. And then from his performance so far, just this qualifiers, he lost one and he drew one. And then when we went to play the friendlies also in Morocco, the result wasn't what Nigerians and NFF were expecting. So at the end of the day, he just, did a honorable thing to resign, given the fact that, the NFF had said that they want to hire someone else. Probably if they had hired someone else, he might be demoted, but maybe his ego is not letting him to get demoted. Then he just decided, like, okay, if I'm not going to be the front runner for this job, then I should just give way for someone else to come take the job. So it's good for me. I'm happy that he's resigned, because at the end of the day, if this continues, if this drags for long, I'm certain that the NFF would give him a letter of termination.
All right, that's one of the biggest stories making the rounds, but let's kick into what has played out since the resignation of Finidi George. As a former Nigerian goalkeeper, Ida Peterside has said that the Nigerian footballer Victor Osimhen should be banned from the national team if he fails to apologize to embattled coach Finidi George for his outburst on social media on Friday. In a viral video on X, Peterside criticized Osimhen's behavior, deeming it disrespectful, unacceptable. Peterside said the action should be taken, or he should be banned from playing for the national team, warning that if this kind of thing is allowed to continue, it would not go well for Nigeria. He said Finidi and others had served and given everything to Nigeria. Sanity must be brought to our football. He said Osimhen needs to come outside and apologize for the things he said to Finidi. He insisted that Finidi George is a legend. Osimhen cannot just widen his mouth and say things that are unpalatable. He advised Osimhen to come out openly and apologize to the former footballers, Nigerian Football Federation, Finidi, and Nigerians. The controversy began after Finidi expressed frustration over the lack of support from the NFF during a meeting with Sports Minister John Eno in Abuja. Finidi alleged that certain players supported by influential individuals were untouchable and undisciplined, and it was rumored that he specifically called Osimhen out. In response, Osimhen took to Instagram Live to express his anger and disappointment, declaring that he has lost respect for Finidi, asserting that respect should be mutual, and vowed to share evidence of their conversation to clarify the situation. All right, let's look at this panning out. Also, we're supposed to have one sports editor online to talk to us via Zoom, but that will not be possible as regards the comments of Victor Osimhen, that it was a wrong approach by Victor Osimhen. Do you share that sentiment?
I don't share that sentiment. If I was in his shoe, I would have probably even done worse, because one, Mr. Finidi George has been in the know of his injury series all through, starting from January when they were even playing the African Cup of Nations. That was when all of this started. He got back to his club side. He was just in and out from doctors. And when it was almost time for them to come to camp, when he sustained another injury on his leg, he now, in the person of Victor Osimhen, was communicating to Finidi George with his doctor. There are videos, there are evidence that shows that yes, this guy is actually going through all of these things. He's actually injured, and there is no how he can appear to come and play. His doctor said it's not possible. It was even shown when he was even walking with crutches and then having, all these anklets, very big, massive anklets on his left ankle, so that he could be able to, walk and then heal faster. Victor Osimhen now, in a conversation between him and Finidi George, told Finidi George that he can't come and play, but if he wants him to be available, for team spirit, that he's going to fly down to Nigeria and do that. Just like Lewandowski did with Portland. He did not play the game, but he was around to support the younger guys so they can win. So Mr. Finidi George coming out to say that he's not going to beg Victor Osimhen to play for the Super Eagles, when you are aware of the whole situation going on with the guy, that's below the belt. He shouldn't have even done that to start with. Okay, if Victor Osimhen was not around, we have other strikers. Come on, and the highest goal scorer in the Bundesliga league is someone that you played off the bench. You didn't even play him in the first match. That is Victor Boniface. Then in the second match, you went to put him in the 68th minute for what happened, a miracle, when you scored first and then conceded again. Now you're trying to salvage the moment. Having professional guys who are playing football and doing so well in their countryside, you went to start your matches with home-based players. I'm not disrespecting or disregarding the home-based players that they can't play. Of course they can play, but in this position now, you need these guys that are very, very vast and doing so well where they are. Those are the guys that you need to start the matches with, and then maybe when you have the match done and dusted, you bring in the home-based players and introduce them. So his approach, totally, the way he even made his substitutions and all of those things was just totally wrong. And then him calling out Victor Osimhen, saying he cannot beg him to play. That means he is going down and then he's looking for someone he's going to drag down with him. And Victor Osimhen was not ready to take that, because one, there are proof and there are evidences, massive ones, that shows that yes, I have been communicating to you about what has been going on, and that now is not just something that he would take. I wouldn't take that if I were him.
All right, let me ask you a question. Would he do this to his Napoli coach?
Would he he might do it, but if I were
sincere, would he do this to his Napoli coach?
His coach cannot even put him in this situation to start with.
Have we heard coaches say things about players? Have we seen players react like that?
Of course,
call out their coaches and insult them on social media.
He did not insult him. He did not insult him. He did not categorically insult him. He said everybody. So if you are involved, maybe you too, you have a fair share of what he said. But the thing is, the issue. Okay, let's look at Sancho and Eric Ten Hag.
Okay, so who is suffering in that scenario?
And in this current scenario now, the Super Eagles are suffering.
Who did the club support back?
Who did the club support back in what sense?
No, who did the club back in that scenario?
What club now are you talking about?
We're talking about Manchester United case now, between Sancho and Ten Hag. Who did the club back?
At the end of the day, from what it's looking now, the club is backing, what's his name?
No.
Eric Ten Hag.
No, even before now, who did it look like the club was backing?
Even before now, for Sancho to go on loan, that means the club were backing him.
So obviously,
and then why it's like that is because there's a proof that this guy wasn't doing so well. But here now with Victor Osimhen, there's a proof that yes, I was actually injured, and you were in the know of everything. So I don't know why Finidi just came out to say he cannot beg him. Putting that on a clause means that okay, this guy is fine, he's healthy, and he's just refusing to play. That's what his statement meant. He cannot beg him.
All right, let's see how this is going to pan out in the coming days and weeks. But obviously, the ex-Eagles, Super Eagles players are saying if you allow Osimhen to do this, he's not going to be a good role model to other players coming up. And what he means is in future, another player is going to do the same to Victor Osimhen, and will he be able to stomach it? We'll leave that conversation for you to judge which way you choose. All right, there's one man who is the man who is the most wanted man in the Nigerian Premier Football League. His name is Ile Chukwu. The big story tells us that Enugu Enugu Rangers have won the 2023-2024 Nigerian Premier League with one game to spare after beating Benda Insurance 2-0 in the final home game of the season at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, Enugu. The Flying Antelopes' 8th league title and the first since 2016 was sealed thanks to the losses of their respective challengers Remo Stars and Eyimba in other match day 37 fixtures against Sunshine Stars of Akure and Sporting Lagos respectively. Remo Stars were beaten 2-1 in Akure by Sunshine Stars, while a late goal Eyimba also fell 2-1 to relegation threatening the Sporting Lagos at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena going into the match day 37 game with a 2-point lead. Fidelis Ilechukwu's men took control of their destiny against Insurance as quickly as possible with Kenechukwu Algo opening the scoring in the 33rd minute, where Chidebere Nwobodo doubled their advantage in the 65th minute, but their confirmation as winners was almost being dragged to the final day as Remo and Eyimba, who had gone down by a goal each in their respective games, both equalized. A draw for either Remo or Eyimba would have left them in contention for the title, but their chances were blown by 2 late goals in Akure after Ahmed Akinyele had cancelled out Chinedu Nwosu's opener for Sunshine. The 17-year-old turned up again in the 80th minute to dash the Ikene side's hope and get Sunshine their first win over them in 6 matches at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena. Eyimba needed all 3 points, and despite Chijioke Mbaoma scoring from the spot to cancel out Godwin Odibo's opener for the host, Jonathan Aluku was the hero, scoring a much-needed winner for Sporting, which also left their survivor chances hanging in the balance, thanks to their win over Ben Insurance and their challengers defeating Ilechukwu guided Rangers to an unsellable 5-point lead with 67 points going into their last game of the season against Gombe United at the Pantami Stadium next week. The working one, as Ilechukwu is fondly called, had previously worked with the defunct MFM FC Heartland and Plateau United before joining Rangers at the start of the season. After missing out on the title, Remo Stars, Eyimba and 4th place Shooting Stars are still in a thrilling race for the 2 other continental tickets via the league, while the battle for the start on match day 38. Rangers will have a dead rubber against relegated Gombe United before their coronation at the Pantami Stadium. Founded in 1970, the Flying Antelopes have previously won the NPFL title 7 times: 1974, 1975, 1977, 1981, 1982, 84, and 2016, and make it 2024. Only Eyimba, who won the league for a record 9 times last season, have more titles than the Flying Antelopes. This is congratulations to Ilechukwu, and we saw this coming when the Flying Antelopes kept on winning and winning. But did you see the loss for Eyimba and Remo coming?
I didn't really see it because of the level at which they are playing in. I didn't see that coming, but this is game of football, the round-leather soccer game that is just amazing, and the way it tends to amazes all of us. Maybe when we feel the job is done, and then the underdogs now, the ones under relegation, will just come out and then pull an upset. So these are just the challenge. These are just the things, how competitive the nature is, despite the fact that the league is ending, the season is ending. So these other teams don't want to go down as an underdog, and then they just want to have this motivation, something more to get into the next season with. So I wouldn't say I'm totally surprised, because it's the game of football and anything can happen at any given time. So it is what it is. Congratulations.
Congratulations to the Flying Antelopes winning. And let's look at those teams that are also still fighting for relegation. So yes, we know that Enugu Rangers have won the 2023-2024 Nigeria Premier League. But the tale and fate of 4 clubs, Sporting Lagos, Akwa United, Bayelsa United, and Doma United are still hanging in the balance as the relegation battles go down to the wire in the last round of matches next week. Despite a hard-fought 2-1 2-1 win over Enyimba at the Mobalaji Johnson Arena on Sunday. Sporting, the darling team of Lagos, still find themselves deep in the relegation waters in 17th position with 46 points, and they face a tough battle in their last game against the Continental ticket-chasing 3SC at the Lekon Salami Stadium in Ibadan. Jonathan Aluku scored a late winner for them in the win over Enyimba, but their midweek loss at home to Plateau United might be the ultimate finisher of their fate if they go down. Former champions Akwa United are in the same points as Sporting, 46 points, but above the drop zone on goal difference. Bayelsa United have been irrepressible in their last 4 matches, which had seen them pick a crucial draw at Enyimba midweek before coming from a goal down to beat 3SC 2-1 in Yenagoa on Sunday. They sit 2 places above the relegation zone with just 1 point more than Sporting and Akwa United, but their last hurdle against Benda Insurance in Benin might pull them down if the strugglers get maximum points in their games. Despite being in the top 3 at the end of the first half of the season, Doma United now find themselves rooted 18th with 43 points. If the Savannah Tigers want to stay up for their 3rd season in the MPFL, they must beat Abia Warriors as many goals as possible and see if they have done enough to survive, as their destiny is not totally in their hands. Former champions Heartland and Gombe United have already been relegated, and 2 more teams will join them in the Nigerian National League next season. All right, let's look at these teams. What teams do you think are likely to escape? We've got Doma, unfortunately, were 3rd at a point, 4th at a point, and now 18th. They need to score many goals against Abia Warriors, and Abia Warriors is a very tough team.
Yes.
How do you see that panning out?
It's actually going to be a very tough one, because all of these teams now are not.
And Bayelsa is facing 3SC, who needs tickets.
So these guys now are actually very, very tough. These are tough teams, and it's going to be very, very crucial. It's going to be very, very difficult. It's not going to be a walk in the park. So it just boils down to who wants it more. And then when that happens, now I see Abia Warriors, not making it easy for them, putting in their best and wanting to make sure they get to, remain in Nigerian Professional League. I see Akwa United trying to struggle to come out of that drop zone and then see how far they can, go further in terms of, qualifying. So it's totally going to be very, very, a dicey one, and we'll just see how it pans out. For now, I'm not certain on how the game is going to play out.
All right, we'll be looking keenly to see how that matchup goes. It's Benda Insurance who will be tackling one of the teams, while Bayelsa United will also be looking to get all points against 3SC, a very tricky one. Doma United will be looking to see how they can save themselves. Likewise, Sporting Lagos. So action plenty to see who survives and retains their spot at the MPFL. Bayelsa United, Sporting, and Doma United seeking for a way out. Already we know that Gombe United and Heartland of Owerri are already relegated. All right, let's talk about some Super Eagles players. Kelechi Iheanacho is in the news this morning, as the big story tells us that Super Eagles forward Kelechi Iheanacho is at the center of a transfer speculations, as a prominent Saudi Arabian club yet to be named has expressed strong interest in securing his services. The club's president has declared their intent to go all out to sign the 27-year-old former Leicester and Manchester City forward. Iheanacho, who spent 7 years with Leicester City, made over 100 appearances for the club and won the FA Cup, Community Shield, and EFL Championship titles. During the last season, he scored 6 goals in 26 matches across all competitions, contributing significantly to Leicester's EFL Championship triumph and their promotion back to the Premier League. But do you think this is the right direction Iheanacho's career is going? We expected more from him, especially when he moved to Man City, but he never made it in Man City, went to Leicester. Fortunately, they did win the league, but is he going right or is he going wrong?
The thing is, if he goes, I feel if he goes to Saudi Arabia, is not going to be in the news that much anymore, because a whole lot of people don't engage that much to watch, other Saudi pro leagues. But I would say he should remain in Leicester, because one, they are coming back to the Premier League, so it's going to be of more added advantage for him to be able to perform well, and other big clubs as well will also look out for him, probably in the Spanish league or in the German league. So I would say he should remain in Leicester, see how far he can help Leicester go this season, and see what he can make out of it for a greater good, because Ihan Achoi is still 27, and then he can still perform more. He has Wilfred Ndidi also, who is also there. So I feel with their combo and other support from other teammates as well, they can be able to go further. So for me, I would suggest he stays back in Leicester City and then make another run with them before seeing if you need to move or probably remain in Leicester, or maybe a better team, maybe in Europe or in the German league, would also see him and then want him for their own place instead of going to Saudi. But one thing about Saudi now is that the money is just so alarming.
Yeah,
so,
I think the evil side of him is what is attracting him to Saudi Arabia. Because I think going to Saudi Arabia will do his career no good. He's still young, and I wonder why he's not wanting to prove more on the European scene rather than go Saudi Arabia. All right, so let's talk about one player who is not going anywhere close to Saudi Arabia. He's a big star in the making. Let's let you know that we're taking to Spain now, where Atletico Madrid have decided that Nigerian eligible forward Samu Omorodion is not for sale, no matter the offer, as they believe that he could be a key player for them in future, and they are ready to hold on to him. The 20-year-old has been linked with a move away from the club in recent weeks. Omorodion was on loan to Deportivo Alaves this past season, and he was quite impressive for them. His performances have attracted the attention of Premier League and Serie A clubs. However, a report from Spanish publication Marca claims that Atletico Madrid have now decided not to sell him at any price. The attacker will need regular football in order to continue his development, and it remains to be seen whether Atletico Madrid can provide him with the opportunity next season. Fabrizio Romano has revealed that the Spanish giant recently turned down a substantial offer from a Premier League club, West Ham United, for the attacker. The Hammers are in need of attacking reinforcement, and it will be interesting to see if they decide to move on to another target now, with the Nigerian forward Victor Boniface also on their radar. As for Atletico Madrid, it is evident they rate Omorodion highly, and they believe that he could be a future prospect for them if they are unable to offer regular game on time to the player next season. They would look to loan him out so that he can continue his development with regular first team action. Meanwhile, Omorodion has the potential to develop into an important first team player for Atletico Madrid with the right guidance, and the 20-year-old will be hoping to establish himself as a key player under Diego Simeone in the coming season. He scored 9 goals in La Liga last season, and there is no doubt that he is keen to perform for a big club like Atletico Madrid. This good news. Atletico not wanting him to leave, but at the same time, do you think he's going to get playing time next season?
No, it depends on how well he develops and how better he gets. It's different for you going to play in a smaller club and then coming up as a number one, key player and key starter. But when it comes to Atletico Madrid under Diego Simeone, who is a very, very strict and a very technical coach, you need to perform more. You need to think outside the box. You need to bring, a significant contribution to the table before you would get a playing time or a lead role in that team. So it depends on how much Omorodion wants it. It depends on how much he improves and develop himself and then mature in terms of playing football. So I think that's the angles he needs to look at. If he does mature and then develop more and prove himself times and time again, then they might not even have the conversation of wanting to loan him for him to get better. Since they are striking out the conversation of selling him off to another team, that means he has the ability and then the capability to develop and play as someone in Real Madrid, in Atletico Madrid. So with this current development now, that means he's doing some things right. That means the next thing he needs to do now in these few months that he have for break is just for him to work more on himself, develop, get better, and then fight for a starting jersey for the team, Atletico Madrid. So it boils down to him to just getting better and developing more.
All right, let's wish him the very best, and we hopefully he's going to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Well, are you worried that there are no attempts already by the NFF to call him to the national team before the Spanish national team begins to invite him?
That's under challenge and that's under angle now, because one, like with the very first time we made mention of Omoredion on this show, we clamored and then we, solicited for the NFF to reach out to him when clubs in Italy and in England are reaching out for him to come play. So now the NFF needs to start getting all of these young players and then letting probably the older ones go, so that we'll have room to, have good options, not just having options. Yes, if this person is not around, if we don't have a Victor Boniface or a Victor Osimhen or a Paul Nacho or Awoni, we still have someone who is as good as these guys that is young, that we can still build the Super Eagles around. So this is what the NFF needs to be doing. I think the NFF needs to have this mentality of getting young players and then building the team around young players and not just dwelling or building teams around old players. So all of these challenges now is what we are facing, and that's what Mr. Finidi George is facing right now. That's why he had challenges with the Super Eagles and not win the crucial matches that we wanted him to win.
All right, let's see how things going to pan out. Let's go to a little bit of athletics before we run back into the round letter game football as we look forward to the Olympics. As the 2024 national trials gather momentum in Benin City, African Games champion Chidi Okezie is eager to defend his men's 400 meters title, which he won at the same venue, the Samuel Gbemudia Stadium last year. Let's tell you that the 30-year-old is back in the country to defend his title a few days after punching his ticket and picking it to the Paris 2024 Olympics at the Edmonton Athletics Invitational in Canada, where he broke the 45-second barrier and stumped to victory with a new personal best of 44.97 seconds. He had since turned his attention to the national trials with the intention of defending his crown. He became to win the African Games men's 400 meters title since the great Innocent Egbunike in 1987, a huge feat after winning 4 bronze medals at the continental level, dating back in Durban in 2016 when he made his debut for Nigeria at the African Athletics Championship. After winning his first ever gold medal for Nigeria at the African Games in Ghana in March, Okezie has also inspired the men's 4x400 meters and mixed 4x400 meters relay teams to pick the Olympics ticket during the World Relays in Bahamas. Okezie played a strong part in qualifying for both events, running back-to-back inspiring races, which secured the mixed 4x400 meters and men's 4x100 meters relay sports for Nigeria at the Games. The 30-year-old, joined by Dubem Nwachukwu, Dubem Emene, and Sikiru Adeyemi in the men's 4x400 meters, produced a stunning time of 3 hours and 1 minute 70 seconds, the fastest time by a Nigerian male 4x400 meters team since the bronze winning team of the James Godday, Musa Audu, and Saulu Wakpoa, and Eneffiong Udobong ran in 3 hours 90 seconds at the Athens 2004 Olympics. In the mixed event, Okezie, Samuel Ogazi, and Ella and Esther Joseph broke the African records and also clocked a national record of 3 hours, 12 minutes, 87 seconds. The previous record stood at 3 hours, 13 minutes, and 26 seconds, set by Emmanuel Ojeli, Patience Okon George, and Sikiru Adeyemi and Omolara Oguman at the 2023 African Games in Ghana. Okezie has been talking tough with his performance in Bahamas and titles he has been winning and breaking personal and national records. Are you confident he's going to do the same in Benin City when the national trial starts?
Yes, I believe he's going to do the same, because it shows that, okay, this guy has been working and then we are seeing the results so far. He comes this year, he set a record, he comes back again, he breaks it and sets a new record. So he keeps setting shorter records by every competition. So all of this that is going on now shows that this guy is not just sleeping at home. He goes to the gym, he works out, he gets himself ready. So I believe he's also going to retain his championship and then head to Paris 2024, because without him winning here, proving himself, he might not be able to go represent Nigeria. So at the end of the day, I have a feeling that he would be able to get a second win again and then get to advance and then represent the country in Paris.
All right, we wish Okezie the very best alongside the entire team Nigeria at the athletics trials that are taking place in Benin City. Let's talk some boxing, where former world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua has jumped over Tyson Fury into the first place in the latest WBC heavyweight rankings, with the Gypsy King now ranked second. Fury lost his WBC heavyweight title when Alexander Usyk beat him in May's undisputed clash in Saudi Arabia. Having been previously ranked as champion, Fury has now fallen into the challenger pecking order and has been placed as the second-ranked heavyweight contender by the WBC. The organization has placed him below long-term British-Nigerian rival Joshua, who sits behind Usyk, whom he has lost to twice. Joshua has back-to-back impressive wins over Francis Ngannou and Otto William under his belt, and may well compete for the vacant IBF title against Dana Dubious in September. Let's look at this. This should be good news for Nigerians boxing fans and for Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, it is it's good news for him, and then good news for Nigerian boxing fans, because one, you've always have this debate who is better between the Gypsy King and our Ajabo brother Anthony Joshua, who is not technically an Ajabo. So the thing now is that's why the fight between both of them needs to happen, so we'll know who the best is. But now via the ranking that we are seeing now is showing that okay, Anthony Joshua has won back-to-back 2 fights straight in a row. Gypsy King has lost his fight, so automatically that's demotes him and then gives Anthony Joshua a higher mark and a higher rank. So this is what it's looking now. I'm excited for Anthony Joshua, and then I'm just waiting for him to get a fight and then get one of these belts back. So it's just going to be sealed, and then he's going to be up there flying and then getting himself ready. With the current change that he has on his camp, that is Anthony Joshua, he is gunning for championship for belt. So let's just see what happens in the nearest future. He will definitely call out somebody and get their belt from them.
All right, yes, just to let you more as regards that Agit Kabayel rounds out the top 3 after his impressive underdog. And still talking boxing, just to let you know that some other boxers, Nigerian heavyweight boxer in FA, Ajagba, makes up the top 5 holding WBC silver trinket belt. So obviously with time we're going to see more Nigerians come out. FA is one boxer you have to look out for. Let's go for a quick break. When we return, Talk Sport continues.
It's time for sports' biggest moments on global television. The headlines, scores, breaking news, and commentaries on sporty events. Talking with the biggest players, strikers, and about the slam dunks and goals, stunning saves, near misses, and upsets. Let's talk about the greatest home runs, comebacks, knockdowns, and victories. Talk Sports with the King of Sports, Anthony Momodu. Weekdays, 10 a.m. Don't miss out.
Oh, that goal! Beautiful work from the wingers!
In an ever-busy world, the increasing challenge of keeping track of health matters can be extremely demanding. Follow the latest health tips and trends on Health Guide on Global Television on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Health Guide on Global Television. Put your health first.
Hello, children. Gather round, let me tell you a story. Do you know that stories have a way of captivating the minds of children, bringing fun and imagination to teach them morals? Join Sharon Ajay as she takes you to explore the thrilling and exciting world of storytelling.
I'll be sharing with you our next interesting story.
Tune in every Saturday on Global Television, time 5:30 p.m.
For an insightful idea that takes the center stage and the conversation that gets beyond the headlines, to explore the lasting impact of political decisions, Big Talk got you covered. From policy debates to geopolitical insights, from thought-provoking discussions to actionable insight,
what is the real responsibility of government?
Big Talk delves deep into the heart of the matter. Join us weekdays on Global Televisions from 6:30 p.m. for a reverting journey into the heart of politics, where we dissect issues shaping our society.
Get a shot in. Squares it. Into the back.
It's time for sports' biggest moments on Global Television. The headlines, scores, breaking news, and commentaries on sporty events. Talking with the biggest players, strikers, and about the slam dunks and goals, stunning saves, near misses, and upsets. Let's talk about the greatest home runs, comebacks, knockdowns, and victories. Talk sports with the king of sports, Anthony Momadou. Weekdays, 10 a.m. Don't miss out.
Got that goal. Beautiful work from the wingers.
Are you ready to be entertained like never before? Get ready to dive into the latest and greatest entertainment news in lifestyle, music, movies, birthday celebration, and so much more, all on Entertainment Circle on Global Television. From the hottest red carpet event to exclusive interviews with your favorite stars, we've got you covered. Stay up to date with the latest trends and news from the entertainment world, all in one place. Tune in every Saturday by 1 p.m. with Chung Annabelle Joseph on Global Television.
Time check. It's midday. Then it's Midday Discourse. Midday Discourse is a program that covers trending local and international news, current issues, and human-related topics. Join Samuel Odi weekdays 1 p.m. on Global Television. The discussion starts here. Is the desk on Global Television?
Nigeria. Come join Anthony Momadou on television's most compelling and facts-finding talk live show.
We are the Palestinians. We are the Canaan because
that this country gets it right.
It's the Dex on Global Television, where we analyze and dissect storming issues and commentaries in the world's biggest black nation, Nigeria.
Who is being held accountable for this money?
The eyes have it.
We stay and decide policies and reforms on the Dex. Tune in Mondays to Fridays, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Global Television. Let's stay on the Dex. Are you a food lover? Do you care about your health and nutrition? Are you interested in exploring the diverse culinary traditions from around the world? Then look no further. Introducing Lunch Global on Global Television, a show that takes you on a delicious journey through the world of food, nutrition, and diet. So, whether you're a seasoned foodie, a health enthusiast, or simply curious about the world of food, Lunch Global has something for everyone. Tune in Mondays to Fridays and let your taste bud take you on a journey of flavor, culture, and discovery on Lunch Global. Bon appetit!
Get ready for it. Inside Today brings you issues relating to family, peer pressure, drugs, substance abuse, societal and topical issues making rounds. Join Jumaine Manson on Global Television Monday to Thursday and it repeats every Friday. Time 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Don't miss out.
With every government and introduction of new policies, Businesses of all kinds and sizes seize the opportunity to evolve and redefine themselves. Business Point on Global Television is where we follow the money and put the facts and figures right in front of you. Watch Business Point every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. as Kikelamo Okeri tracks all the latest developments across critical sectors. Business Point. This is business.
In an ever-busy world, the increasing challenge of keeping track of health matters can be extremely demanding. Follow the latest health tips and trends on Health Guide on Global Television on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Health Guide on Global Television. Put your health first.
Hello, children. Gather around, let me tell you a story. Do you know that stories have a way of captivating the minds of children, bringing fun and
All right, we had to go for a quick break due to some technical issues beyond our control, but nice to be back. Let's wrap it up with some stories concerning the Euros, where England got their quest for a first major tournament title in 58 years off to a winning start, as Jude Bellingham's header was enough to beat Serbia 1-0, while the Netherlands grabbed a late 2-1 win over Poland on Sunday. Christian Eriksen enjoyed a fairy tale return to the European Championship 3 years after suffering a cardiac arrest on the pitch by scoring the opening goal, but Denmark were held to a 1-1 draw by Slovenia. England had been hyped as one of the favourites for the tournament as Gareth Southgate aims to finally stir a richly talented generation to glory. However, England left plenty of room for improvement. In a flat tournament debut in Germany, Bellingham was the exception as the Real Madrid midfielder confirmed his status as one of the world's rising stars with a man-of-the-match display. The 20-year-old became the first European player to grace 3 major tournaments before turning 21, and he capped a brilliant individual display with the only goal when he headed in Bukayo Saka's deflected cross on 13 minutes. Harry Kane saw a late header turned onto the bar by Serbia goalkeeper, but England were forced to see out a Navy finale as Jordan Pickford turned over Dusan Vlahovic's deep in drive before Kane headed away a Viaco's goal-bound shot. The match had been declared as a high risk by German police, and there were minor clashes between rival fans before kickoff, which saw 7 Serbian fans taken to custody. All right, let's talk about Holland, where for the Netherlands, voice Weghorst struck in the 83rd minute, just 2 minutes after coming on as a substitute to secure an opening Group D victory against Poland, who were without injured Robert Lewandowski. Dutch fans packed the street of Hamburg, creating an orange wall of noise hours before kickoff. It was the Poland supporters whose voices echoed around the Volkspark Stadium when Adam Buska headed their team in front early on, but Cody Gakpo leveled an entertaining encounter before the half-hour mark with the aid of a deflection. Gakpo, Memphis Depay, and Denzel Dumfries all went close as the missed chances piled up for the Orange, and Ronald Koeman's men looked to be running out of ideas until Weghorst swooped on to slot home a deserved winner. The Dutch, the 88 winners are hoping to end a poor recent Euros record, having not even reached the quarterfinals since 2008. Earlier, police shot and injured a man who threatened them with an axe and a Molotov cocktail in Hamburg before kickoff, although the police spokesperson said there was no indication the incident was linked to the game. Okay, let's look at the first two matches. Holland playing out 1-0 win against Poland, very tight one. Lewandowski missing in that game. Do you think the game would have been different if Lewandowski was in the team for Poland?
Yeah, I felt the result might have been different, but again, this is the Holland side we are talking about now, so they are also very, very good set of players. So Lewandowski's impact is always can't be overemphasized. Definitely, whether he's playing on or off, there he always has an impact on the team. But I feel it would have been different. But looking at Holland now, Holland is also a very strong side that wouldn't go down without a fight, that wouldn't want to just lose in the first leg, and they are also gunning to get far in the competition and even win it. So I feel there would have been a difference, but I'm not certain if it's going to mean that Poland are going to walk away or run away with a win.
All right, for England, just 1-0, and one man stood out, Jude Bellingham, amongst the other stars. How key is Bellingham going to be for the Three Lions in this tournament?
Very key, very, very key. He's like one of the front runners for the team because, one, he has this composure and he was able to carry the team. Literally, he carried the team himself. He made good passes, he made good runs, and when Harry Kane wasn't there to head the ball, he was able to dive in and then create a little space for himself and then got the header. So he is going to be very, very impactful, and then he's going to help the team go far. But for me, in this Euro competition, I'm actually looking at Spain to get the win because this Spanish team, they are really, really young and they can run you all through the 90 minutes, and these boys can play. So I'm just saying for England now, since England is what we're focusing on, England and Jude Bellingham, they are going to do so well, and I have a feeling that they're going to go far in the competition.
All right, let's wish the Three Lions the very best of luck. For Denmark, we saw a 1-1 draw for Denmark versus Slovenia.
Yes, so that's just, it shows this match, this series, this competition is going to be very competitive. Denmark is a very big team. Slovenia too they are considered as one of the underdogs. And if you remember, we said before Euro started, the underdogs now are going to come out to fight. And then we are seeing that already from the kickoff matches. So that means it's going to be a very, very long night for those playing in Germany, because if you don't come out to play very well, and the fans again have an impact, they are being very wild and cheering on and off the pitch. So this is motivating the players to do more, despite the fact that they've introduced cannabis to help calm them down. But these guys are all out cheering and supporting their players. So all of this now, the underdogs, like I said, are teams that you are definitely going to look out for in this season of Euro 2024.
All right, be careful of the teams that are tagged underdogs. They could just surprise you. It was really difficult for the Three Lions to beat Serbia, likewise Slovenia agreeing at a 1-1 draw, and it tells you the tournament is going to be tough. All right, we're talking about European media this morning as England stars came in for a razor-sharp criticism from the European media after they laboured to a 1-0 win over Serbia to begin their Euro 2024 campaign. There had been whispers of a new golden generation coming into the tournament, but this crop of hopeful failed to pass the eye test for Europe's cynical scribes. Jude Bellingham turned at home a header after 13 minutes, sparing Gareth Southgate out of his seat. But England ceded chances to Serbia later on. John Stones was slapped with 3/10 rating by infamously harsh French sports magazine L'Equipe for his performance. They felt he struggled in his battle with striker Duvan Vlahovic from the first minute and multiplied his blunders throughout the game. L'Equipe noted that his knock against Ireland and his subsequent illness were factors in him being not in the best form. They also handed Harry Kane 5 5/10 for his subdued performance up top. And joining him on that uninspiring rating were Phil Foden, Mark Guehi, Kieran Trippier, while Jordan Pickford and Kieran Walker only got a 6/10 despite England's clean sheet. German outlet Bild singled out Bellingham as the only one who stands out despite England having a host of top stars including Premier League and Champions League winners. Peter Mertesacker, England's current academy boss and former defender, argued that it was a very weak performance from the English side, while Chris Kramer branded it simply not good enough. Bild wrote the England will have to step up their game if they are to lift the European Championship trophy come July 14. Over to Spain, both Marca and Mundo Deportivo felt that there was Bellingham and a little else to shout about for Southgate's team. Would you say the European media, they are right with the ratings of the English stars?
Yes, I watched the match. So these guys, apart from Jude Bellingham and the goalkeeper Pickford, the rest of them were just, it wasn't. They didn't play the way they usually play in their club side. Mostly Saka was just, apart from the cross that came in from the right hand side, Saka couldn't drive the ball. He couldn't do much with the ball, And apart from the fact that I'm a Chelsea fan, I felt a substitution would have been made for Cole Palmer to come in and take in that role and see what happens and see what impact it's going to create. But with the recent performances, with all of these performances from Harry Kane and Foden, I feel they would have done better if they had won or maybe played better. But for Serbia now, they had opportunities to score. England also had more opportunities to score, but the goalkeeper of Serbia was just it was just key in the game, and then he was able to get crucial saves for his side. Pickford also was able to have quick games and then good savings for his guys for the England team. So at the end of the day now, it's going to continue going like this. If these guys don't perform well, England would have to suffer and then shockingly suffer an early defeat in the competition. All
right, let's keep talking sport and give you more big stories making the rounds. Let's tell you that Jude Bellingham is in the news this morning. All right, let's go for a quick break. When we return from the break, the program continues. All right, let's wrap up the program with this big story making the rounds that Jude Bellingham broke a long-standing record held by Cristiano Ronaldo in lining up for England at the Euro 2024. The Real Madrid midfielder headed in from Bukayo Saka's cross after 13 minutes in Germany to put his side ahead against Serbia, out continuing his fine form this season at just 20 years old. He lined up behind Harry Kane in manager Gareth Southgate's system, flanked by Phil Foden and Bukayo Saka in the attack that provided fans with excitement going into the tournament. Bellingham, on the back of winning the Champions League just days ago, provided perhaps the most excitement for fans and delivered early on in his side's opening goal in playing in the game. Bellingham became the youngest player to feature in 3 international major tournaments, having also featured at the Euro 2020 and the World Cup in 2022, breaking onto the scene at Birmingham in the championship as a 16-year-old. Bellingham benefited from Euro 2020 being delayed by a year due to his COVID, and was named in the squad at the age of 17 in playing against England's opener against Croatia. He became the youngest Englishman to play at a major tournament and the youngest player to ever play at the European Championship, aged 17 years and 349 days. He played a more prominent role at the World Cup in Qatar in 2022 at the age of 19, starting all 5 of his side's games. Now he is one of the first names on the sheet and arguably England's key player in attack. Ronaldo, meanwhile, lined up at Euro 2004 and 2008 and the World Cup in 2006. At Euro 2004, he was 19 and was 23 by the time at Euro 2008 came around, meaning Birmingham had beaten the record by 3 years. All right, that's how we call it a wrap on today's edition. But just to get a quick take, Birmingham breaking records. Phil Foden told to step up his performance. Can we say Man City stars only do well when they're Man City, but outside Man City, they seem to struggle to find their feet? John Stones couldn't find his feet. Phil Foden couldn't find his feet.
Let's see what happens. Okay, maybe I will just say they don't have much chemistry with this team. So let's see what happens in the next game. Let's just, jump the gun and say, yes, they are going to perform all through this period woefully. Let's just hold on and see what happens. I think they are all still trying to find chemistry. The moment they find that, I think they will be able to perform more. But as the matches continues and then the competition unfolds more, we might see that kind of chemistry that they had with their teammates in Manchester City, and then advance more and probably get to the finals of Euros.
All right, so that's how we call it a wrap on today's edition of the program Talk Sports. My name is Anthony Momondi saying thank you for joining me. And also,
I am Samuel Odi. Thank you for joining us today. Back at the Salah to our Muslim brothers and sisters. I'm waiting for my round.
All right, so that's how we call it a wrap on Talk Sports. Let's do this again tomorrow.